Why do you think Very Dark Man is very generous? Like, why do you think VDM is generous? Look at him speak. There's the money he gives us every month, 1 million naira from his pockets. From his pocket, because we can trace it. It is not from the NGO. Anybody can go and check the money. It's not from his NGO. He does stewardship of private property. That's why even if you give him 100 billion, he will tell you, I have defeated the love of money. You cannot defeat the love of money if you have not mastered stewardship of private property. You are in a haste to be rich. I can clearly see that what I said on Honest Bunch podcast actually revealed the state of the average Nigerian man and how we think. When I mean man, I mean both women and men. The money you are paying your staff cannot do these three things. It is slavery. It's not 9 to 5. It's a disguised name. If it cannot help her to save, to solve her little needs, clothing, feeding, and lastly, to give. Those three things. After what I saw yesterday in the comments, I would rather the president of this country continues to govern us than some of you in the comment section mount that place. Because if they ever allow you by any chance get to that position, you will do 10 times worse than they've done. The average man in this country does not even understand simple comprehension. And it is so sad that even on the basis of communication, it is so difficult to have conversation, especially online, because once you don't agree with someone's ideology, they introduce insult. And technically, insulting an argument is a sign of low intelligence. And a lot of us are very unintelligent. A lot of us, we don't know how to have conversations. Once I don't agree with you, insult. Make your point, make it clear. Let's have a proper debate. Let's discuss. But I'm going to dissect something. But before I do, I'm going to say this to men. Whether you are a youth who is about to get married or you're already a father, stay in the life of your children. It takes more than passing the test of finance for a man to be a man. Stay in the lives of your children. You get why? The person that I was referring to in the video that I said I told to increase the salary of his cleaner, till today he's ever grateful to me because he understands. I saw some of you misinterpret and misuse and manipulate what I said there. But I'm going to deconstruct it completely. I brought a question of conscience. A question of conscience is not sentiment. It is philosophical. In case you don't know, it is a philosophical question I posed to him. He's my friend. I wouldn't do that to every random person. I would never do that. But because of the kind of relationship I have with my friend, I can deploy that. One of the biggest problems with Nigerians, with us Nigerians, is that I've seen that we don't know how to differentiate between descriptive and prescriptive. We struggle very hard with comprehension. This is our biggest problem. I was describing a story. You turned it to prescription and say, I should go and give my staff. Do you have a comprehension problem? I never said, go and do this. I was describing for my friend. I was describing a story. I didn't prescribe it to you. Now, the prescription I'm going to prescribe in this video, I will do it because what I was passing out in that place was compassion, philosophical argument. The reason is because every now and then we demand for some level of philosophical argument from even the government outside of responsibility. When you talk about where's your humanity, that is a philosophical argument. That's a philosophical conversation. I'm not talking about capitalism. Capitalism wise, you have done nothing wrong, even if you pay at 20k, Iwolumo. But philosophically, I can question your conscience on the basis of the relationship I have with you. How many of you used to ask God, you Christians that attacked me, how many of you Christians ask God when he blesses you that, God, this is above my minimum wage? Does God bless you based on minimum wage or not? One of the most fundamental flaws of human beings is that we don't understand that you are blessed to bless. You are blessed to be a blessing. She has 2 kids. The kids are not your responsibility. But your humanity, philosophical conscience should make you put your eyes on the ground to see that the state at which she has been when she has been working with you is retrogressive. Another problem I saw is that why are we Nigerians always focusing on outcome that leads to negativity? Somebody says increase someone's salary. Somebody said so that she can be having 10 more children. But why is your angle not that so that she can become a blessing or so that she can grow or so she can do better? Are you saying that they're not maids that people have helped and then they have become more productive from it? Why is it the negative you think for first? As you are paying your workers, your goal on the other hand is that I want to see you also grow. I want to see you do better in life. Yes. Don't you want people around you to do better? And for some people that were telling me, how much you pay your staff? The last staff that was working with me, his job was less than anything ever. I provided position, location. He didn't pay on transportation. I was the one that was providing most of the food. And sometimes I even gave him my clothes and all of that. I edit most of the videos and I paid him for editing. I was paying him 150,000 naira. The place he was working before, they were paying him 100,000 naira, 9 to 5, and he was stressed. He stays in my house. I don't know him before, but I let him stay in my home. I trusted him. 150,000 I was paying him. And even at that, there were many times he misused some of my properties, like my tab, one of my tab like that. No minimum wage is this. But at the same time, if truly you want a society where there can be elevation, where the youth can actually have decent value, you need to understand that everybody must understand what is called steward your private property. If you don't know how to steward your private property, you can never take a position of public space and use it well. You will misuse those funds because you don't know how to do it. Why do you think Very Dark Man is very generous? Like, why do you think VDM is generous? Look at him speak. There's the money he gives out every month, 1 million naira from his pockets. From his pocket, because we can trace it. It is not from the NGO. Anybody can go and check the money. It's not from his NGO. He does stewardship of private property. That's why even if you give him 100 billion, he will tell you, I have defeated the love of money. You cannot defeat the love of money if you have not mastered stewardship of private property. You are in a haste to be rich, because if not for humanity, I would not be here. 2024, I was dead broke. I was working for OS Esports. OS Esports, if not for him, in the space of 2 years, when I was moving from my house to this place, he gave me 8 million naira. When my car broke down the gear, he gave me 1 million naira to fix my house. Countless times this guy would take me out to go and eat. Countless times this guy would do more than what he should do. And that's the reason why I could survive that period. God used him to bless me because he had enough. He was blessed to bless. That's why our society is filled with decay. How you use people. No edifying factor. Nobody is saying you should not do your capitalism. I'm not saying you should increase your fee. I'm saying when it comes to philosophical question, if you don't understand that you need to steward your private property, then you have no right to talk about humanity when it comes to the government. People said, an average banker is collecting 150k. I want to ask you something. If a banker in Shagam is receiving 150k, do you think a banker in Abuja, in Federal Bank, will be receiving 150k too? The position of where you meet yourself in life determines the outcome of your income, whether you like it or not. A cleaner in the house of Pharaoh would get more opportunities, will make more money than somebody in the house of someone in Makoko, whether you like it or not. So you don't compare jobs that way. That's not it's done. Me and you both know that the minimum wage in Nigeria is inhumane. Police are underpaid. Many nurses are underpaid. Many staffs are underpaid. Bankers are underpaid. All these secretaries, they're all underpaid. When I saw that I could not afford to pay salary of that amount, because I wanted to pay 200k benchmark. Moving on, because after a while, but I had invested most of my money. I took a break. I did not employ anybody again. I would rather not employ somebody and painstakingly do the work in my home than employ someone and pay you peanuts. There's nobody working for me right now. There's nobody working for me. I do my thing myself. If they take the lights now, I will go downstairs to go and turn on the gen myself. It's stressful, but it's a painstaking thing I have to do because I'm not in a haste to make money. I'm not in a haste to be rich. Doesn't mean I will not be rich. I will be rich. But even if you strip me of the money, if you strip me of Zanku wares, if you strip me of the best sweaters, strip me of Balenciaga, I will still stand. Put me in chains, I will still stand and talk. That's why Paul could talk to King Agrippa, because it was not about money. It wasn't about wealth. So poor, all you have is money. Can have a proper discussion about humanity and philosophy, yet you want to go and mount presidency seats. If President Tinubu today says we're stepping down, I would rather they stay there than many of us mount that place, because at the core, we're not good people. I was talking to Coach Bia yesterday. He was telling me that the person that sweeps his studio, he pays the person 250k per month. I said, why? He said because I don't just pay salary. I pay salary with the mind of, I also want you to be able to do something for yourself, that you grow also. As God advanced me, as I advance in life, I also want you to advance in life. I say, this man understands it. Anytime I go to Coach Bi's studio, I always watch his staffs. There's this happiness I see around them. I could just tell then, I was like, Coach Bi, I will take care of these people. Go. They like him. They love him. You can see it in their smiles. You can see it in how they behave. They do their work with joy. Like, you can tell that this person is not reluctant. You can just see him. It's a reflection of the leader. What he has done, he has left an imprint in the hearts of those men. Those guys now will grow not knowing that they've been shaped. When they get to a position of abundance, they too will replicate it by God's grace. But some of you, once you get to that point, you forget. You hold. You say, poor man mentality, me poor. I'm not going to mention this thing for the sake of bragging, but I want to mention it for the sake of, you need to understand that my condescending and my calmness and soberness is because of my love for Christ. I attended Babcock University. My father had one of the biggest schools in Shagamu. Money was never an issue for me. I was using Samsung S3 as a 2012 with an iPad and S2 Safe, another phone, in case you don't know. As at 2021, I had over 300 million naira in crypto. As at 2021, go and ask people that know me. I was selling jewelries. Upon the money I had, I was going from door to door in Ikeja, selling jewelries up until I started doing gaming. But my character towards people has not changed. Whenever I go overboard, I apologize. I'm sorry I was disrespectful. Regardless of whatever you are, rich or poor, it doesn't matter. Wealth reveals who you are. When wealth started to creep in at that age, I started to become proud. Pride came out, all of that was revealing itself. I had to return back to low estate. I know how to abase and I know how to abound. It is not called entitlement. It is called leaving your imprint in a society that leads to the elevation of society. You think the government is going to change anything? Societies are not just transformed by the government. It's a partnership between the people and the government. Go and check the reformation of the United States. It was people who laid down their lives for the society. The enjoyment you are seeing today were on the backs of men who laid down their lives. Go and check it. Read your history. Men who understood that it was not about minimum wage. That doesn't mean you should not be a fool and overgive. It just means you should give thoughtfully. Someone has been working with you for 5 years. If you increase it to 300K, it is not because it's not because other people are collecting less or higher. It is because subjectively, look in the mirror. This is what I think this woman deserves this at this point. She has been loyal and faithful. 5 years. Let me give her a raise. Let me set her up. Let her do things well. Igbo people understand this thing. I'm telling you. They do. It is something we can learn from them. Education is what you teach yourself. Academics is what they teach you in school. Revelation is what God gives you. One of the things I've learned from Igbo people is their marketing system. How they've been able to understand the market and break it. How many tribes can match Igbo people when it comes to business in this country? Igbo people. Igbo man will go to the village and go and carry 2 of his boys or 2 boys. They will work for him for 6-7 years. After that, what will he do? He will set them up, give them money, set them in listen, continuity. That one will grow again, replicate it. Go to Idumota market. You will see what I'm saying. Go to Mandilas. You go see what they talk. You have the suits. They have the money. You think you have money? Go to Mandilas. Those people will employ you and you will collect that money graciously. They will pay you what they cannot pay you in a firm. Now you think say, now because they don't just need you, now why they don't call you? Go and check, go and learn from, see you can learn even from animals. Go and learn from ants. Go to the ants, that old sluggard. There's so much to learn there. Go, you will see something. If you are my friend, I should be able to hold you accountable. You should be able to hold me accountable. Once you separate philosophy from man, there's no moral grounds anymore. So we do everything by the book. And when you do everything by the book, you're going to have a society that is filled with stinginess, greed, extreme greed, lack of thoughtfulness, no philanthropy. No, there will not be philanthropy anymore. I'll say this and I'll end this again. If many of our rich people in this country, if only they can do us a favor and pay the workers well, you'll be shocked by how much problem you are solving already. Because a lot of these people, the product of what you are doing is what will make them collect that bag of rice. What are they clamor on them for? You say government is the problem. Yet you will say that your firm made 1 billion in profits in a year and there's one staff collecting 120K. You say it's entitlement. You are unthoughtful. You lack empathy. You lack empathy. Easily call it that because you want to justify what you're doing. It is minimum wage. Look at OS Esports, AY. If we have 10 of these men in Lagos, they will transform society. Look at AY, rigid men like Mr. Kumi, men like Chima, dangerous men like Mr. Nero, men like Don Jazzy. Minimum wage. No stewardship of private property. Me and my family can't even extend your hand for once. Any small thing to extend, start saying that you're entitled. Is it? Let it come to your house. Who wants to come to your house before? I saw one say, they should not come to your house. Do you think I'm told that? First of all, you are overrating your importance. Because nothing won't bring me come your house, first of all. You think I just go to people's house because they are rich? You should be lucky if I even come to your house. I'll come find for your house. I don't understand. I feel like person they go to people's house. I don't even go out. I've never clubbed in my life. I don't go out. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I'm always doing my thing in my house. Look at AY sacrificing his life, going to schools to go and teach them about esports. Look at the peanuts they're offering and he's saying, yet I will do it. That's a man. That's a man who is ready to lay down his life for the society. Look at Mr. Kumi. Farouk was nothing. Everybody had forgotten Farouk. Forgotten the boy. He stood and laid down his life for him. The first contract I ever signed in my life, I did it for free for 2 years with a company in this Nigeria. 2 years I labored for free just because the promise that was made to me was that they were going to help the youth. I've always been passionate since day one for the elevation of youth in this country. The first contract I ever signed in my life, I did it for free for 2 years with a company in this Nigeria. 2 years I labored for free just because the promise that was made to me was that they were going to help the youth. I've always been passionate since day one for the elevation of youth in this country. Put our lives and our sweat on this P. We don't just talk and come and listen. We do what we say. And when we make mistakes, we come out and apologize. We hold ourselves accountable. That's a man. God bless you, AY. God bless you, Mr. Kumi. Great men. Men that is beyond finance. Opportunity meets consistency in its purpose. And that's when you have elevation. You must be consistent, but you have to be consistent in your purpose. So as you are consistent, one day opportunity is gravitated towards you. It will meet you in your consistency, because when you are ready, it's already late. Now, on that ground, a lot of us in Nigeria, we are not built to understand blessed to bless. We don't really care about the next man. We are selfish. So when we try to transform and redefine that structure in your head, that okay, we're not saying don't give minimum wage, but give more thoughtfully, be more compassionate with your people in your sphere of business, retrace steps. Have a meeting with your work members. It is more painstaking, but it elevates society. You know why? Because as we begin to transform society that way, by the time we finally experience the point of change on the supreme authority in Nigeria, and we get somebody to be on that seat, when change that wants to occur, we already have men that are ready to take that seat. And I will start be looking, who will go and take the seat? Who will go and take the seat? Because a lot of us are not learning what we should learn now. We are not. Nobody's trying to say give all your money, but give with empathy. Not because it is minimum wage. I strongly pray that billionaires in our society or millionaires will reach out to some of these people. For example, there's a tournament happening in Saudi Arabia, $75 million. There's no Nigerian that can compete with those people right now. But this has been happening every year. And Nigeria has been missing out. Why? Because we don't have men who are ready to lay down their lives and their finance for the elevation of society. But I pray that one day someone comes, joins hands with these great men, and then can invest in these kids, take them out of the country early. Because I saw the experience when Farouk went to Morocco, spent 2 months. By the time he came back, it was a different kind of beast. That shows you that traveling out of the country releases exposure. I would love to actually go abroad and go and learn what it means to be a better coach, how to coach, because in the esports scene, there's enough money to be made. It's an entirely crazy ecosystem that we have not begun to enjoy or take part in this country. Money is just being wasted there, and none of us is partaking of it. We have the youth that can match these boys, but they need the experience and exposure. Who's gonna do it? If all you're too busy with is minimum wage, how do you want to give elevation to this society? And mind you, every value you create for one youth, that is one less criminal on the street.